thank you for inviting me, you and Leanne both. I'm really pleased to be with you tonight. I thought I would start with a little land acknowledgement just so folks know where I'm coming from. And, as also as a matter of courtesy to the people whose lands I inhabit. So I'm coming to you from Treaty 7 territory, which is the home of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, the Bikani, and the Kaina, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, comprised of the Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Wesley First Nations. The city of Calgary, where I live, is also known as Mokinstis, and it's home as well to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Zoe and Leanne have asked me as well to do a visual description, which I'll do. I'm a believer in such things as well. Um, so I'm Larissa. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a Chinese woman with grayish black hair, increasingly gray, but there's still a good bit of black in it yet. Brown eyes and purple glasses. I'm wearing a green shirt, a silver pendant, and a pair of very uncomfortable headphones, which I will wear because I understand it makes the sound quality much better. And we were talking at the beginning. There's a photo of a concrete bridge with yellow rings behind me that looks a bit more like a tunnel than a bridge, but it is in fact a bridge. Uh, Thank you, Planet Earth Poetry. I think I said that already, but I'm very grateful. Zoe Dickinson and Lorna Boschman for hosting me. Leanne Boschman for hosting me today. And of course, I'd also like to acknowledge my press, Arsenal Pulp. For those of you who haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. For those who can't see, you know what? Actually, I did a little screen. I'll just put it up quickly because I can. Oh no, screen sharing is disabled. Okay, never mind. It's okay. Um,
I can enable it for you if
it's
you.
it's it's no biggie. I just
Okay.
wanted to show the book cover.
Oh,
Oh, so it's green. There's a little teapot at the top, a little deer at the bottom, and you can't tell whether um, the raggedy jaggedy lines pouring from the spout of the teapot are tea, or the antlers of the deer at the bottom. Um, Zoe already gave a lovely description of the book. I haven't. There's another way of thinking about it as well. So it blends a number of genres, and it can get fairly complicated talking about them. But another way of thinking about this book might be as a love letter to Hong Kong, the goddess Guanyin, and tea, a delicious drink at the root of a complex set of relationships. The book is comprised of 64 fragments in honor of a Chinese oracle. So I loved that Paul was talking about the personal universe deck earlier. 64 fragments in honor of a Chinese oracle called the I Ching. And it takes the form of the haibun. So what you'll hear are dense packets of language closed off by haiku. Uh, there's 64 of them in this book. I'm going to read you nine. So I'll start at the beginning, which I don't always do, but I will tonight. So this is fragment one. Dear Maynard, meet me halfway at the crossroads where we played touch footsie, our pedicures glistening bright in the moonlight. Dear Monad, when you were my one and homely, we aired our uglies to ducklings wet as greenbacks aching for a border crossing. Dear Mina, parroting the last politic. Dear Miner, I'm digging deep for gold, for diamond dust, asbestos, my best friend's girl. Dear Mooney, hugging the cult of the belt, the boot of the bat, the bear, and the bull, full of it, sully my gully, the gray bird rat of the sky screams, dreaming of gullible burgers as the market door swings open to the gray and rainy. Dear Kool-Aid, dear Gut Rot, dear Deadhead singing Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Dear Dust Bowl, dear Shanghai Shek, dear Shrek, your smile green, your antennae scan the skies of our distant early warning line. Dear Monster Mash, tear me to shredded chicken, I'm so hungry I could cry. Dear Morning has broken, dear Token, my best friend's one and only. Dear Mayhem, dear Mooney, howl at it while your vocals stoical, while the chord of your sword still sharp and dark as a Clark's inkling, recording rust and rebar, tea and totals. Dear Moaner, parroting the harp seal and munching flipper pie. Dear mailman, staking your hot plot, digging deeper where the white man's dug before. I've been working on the stale road, haunting the crossroad where we burnt ghost money, smoking the stairway to heaving boulders rolled from mountains, dynamiting our break on through to the other's mother, the love of my light flight blasting a rocket ship to Venus. Dear Dolly, gosh golly, implicated in the Hogs Holly clearing brush for democracy's propolis, staging the metro's underground for undocumented crossings, while the bees buzz around your head till you can't think straight, and they're measuring your cranium for uranium, digging deeper than down for the black gold to bomb your ass to kingdom kumquat, or some young guy, the vegetables of my digital LAN, thirsty as a burst oil pipe, Skyping me in. Seek peace, find labor, buzzing around windsocks, empty hive. 2. Dear occupation, know your station, waste in Wangne Chung Gap, blast in the mishap of opium's cornucopia, the dope of East Asia co-prosperity, no apology after the golly of America's post-war reconstruction, plus deduction paid by the rough stamp of made in Japan versus made in China, bullying fragrant harbor's ever-open shop. No stop, even on Sunday, my hawker rushes her cart into hiding as cops bop your survival's illegal, watch the eagle, and praise the rule of law. Always say uncle when Sam comes knocking, no flocking or swarming in hordes or perils. Stay feral and leave the critters to the army of uniforms, British, Japanese, or PRC. Occupation's your vocation. Your relation makes a paste of yellow flesh, here to do picky duty with fingers nimble till they stumble, eyes precise until they slant, the cant of burnout under factory lights, burning special economic in Samjan, Gaolung, Chungking nest of my marginal brothers, watering the swamp, paved over and backwards rhetorics, clean as the mean or Mr., blistering all my black-haired sisters down to the last drop of blood, pus, coffee, or tea. Here's glee, here's a plea, my market stark as other blood marking Nanking, Manchukuo, or Hong Kong on Christmas Day. Our modern Christian praying for. Sorry, is it okay? Oh, there's interference. Is anyone else hearing it? Is it okay? Can
Yeah.
you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're okay. I just needed to mute somebody. Sorry about that. Everyone remember to mute yourself.
No stress. Not a worry. Oh, but the difficult thing about this poem is there are no sentences, so I can't back up. Um, clean as a mean or Mr. blistering all my black-haired sisters down to the last drop of blood, pus, coffee, or tea. Here's glee, here's a plea, my market stark as other blood marking Nanking, Manchukuo, or Hong Kong on Christmas Day, our modern Christian praying for deliverance of the kind of colonizer interned at Stanley, as all our brothers stagger mass rapes estimation at 10,000. I don't want to talk about it. I was so unhappy then. I'm happy now that I have you, little shoe and pretty dress. My hair's a mess. Do you have to drive that ugly car, Star? Let's get away from him. He's ignorant. He doesn't know anything. And do you have lots of pretty friends in your nice school in Newfoundland, Newfoundland? I wanted to go to school. He made me stop at grade 3. I could have been smart like you, like your mama. All my children are so smart. I never thought my life would turn out this good. Buy me another set of those pajamas from Zeller, so comfy, cheap, a leap. And pass me my Chanel, sweet smell of everything's gonna be all right. It takes a mountain to build a village at Yao Yat Jun, an embargo to lose it. 3. Dear mask, maker of my other cover, I'm over the weather, wearing feathers as though my fine follicles could scale the cell walls of Tyrannosaurus rex. What hex? My dearest witches code their spells to organize a future alphabet for one fine day, make hay from moonshine to dress an army of gin drinkers at Wangne Chung Gap. If we didn't eat apples, would we stop feeling shame? I dove Private Benjamin to touch the clock of the long now. My garden cajoles Eden Robinson to tell us how it is. Mother knows that apples are not the only fruit, though she praises the 5 bumps at the bottom of delicious. In season, mangoes swing Luzon to Julie as grandfathers struggle coolly to manager in economic zones, offering no cover from sun or gunboat diplomacy, while Jimmy Lai makes his fortune closing the gap between Chinese and Western fashion, parses past his return for Giordano Bruno's cosmic pluralism, the sun that burns us, only one sun among many. Whose workshop whirls this revolution when the stakes are hot and high? If polo goes for horses and t-shirts, how does angel hair spaghetti touch 1 ton mean? What if cover and gender were questions of reverb, proud to disturb the foundation garments of our feminine endings, show us the meat of our murder growing over the bones that are stones? Would our arms be prosthetic as armies extending the white man's labor to make property out of sacred land? My hand runs free of its spider, uncanny as a jar of jam. Dear Musk, wandering Elon of the electrical solution, can scent pay what sight cannot? When does my facial dressing make me real, and when does my slant signal untrustworthy? I birth a river of stars slashing for scars to signal loyal. How am I supposed to breathe through all this beauty? When the cover of COVID can't decide whether it's kinder to go outside or stay indoors? Who's keeping score? 15 love in favor of Billie Jean King. The thing is, the kid is not my son. Naked blade, open wound, reed, red, redress. So those are the first three. I'm going to start skipping now. This is fragment 9. Dear tomorrow, your zombies are already upon us, munching the mesh of our towers and boardrooms. Our hobbits and hovels heave a hunger you can't resolve. Dear hungry ghost at the crossroads, looking for lonely travelers with haversacks. However empty, we can empty you further. Your burthen's a bother, a brother, a caller, trying to make $1 out of 15. Your mother's a moth, waving her butterfly net, knowing already the Tao of change, snatching the coy joy of crab with cracked pepper, or a walk among the golden chain trees, aware of the monster at the edge of the garden, yet closing a deliberate eye. She pardons, holding the circle, having long stopped counting heads cut and heads sprouted, not doubting the eternal return. Chinaman's luck, aces pulled from stacked card deck, mahjong flowers, pung. And this is number 11. I thought since we're meeting at planet Earth, I'd do one for the moon. Dear moon, my bloodline rushed to earth in time with your table. I grow my leaves and vines on your quiet rotation and orbit. Leave the exorbitant Gregorian to sunny invaders, avoid their parades through streets and forests of Gorgon time. My sign snakes to rivers, underwater ghost worlds, swimming fish, our scaly ancestors waiting for the dollar to run its course. Our course is deeper and sweeter, trenching beneath oceans to flow, to bide our time tectonic, though grenades and genocides break us over and over, we break and reconnect, and break and reconnect, segmented and the whole dug deep enough to swallow time. Dear Maine, shaggy as the heads of lions guarding the gates of our homes on native land, our loans on dative sand, awaiting the remand, old China hands getting back on the boat we're no longer fresh off, come from a ways, indentured or investors astronauting in on the back of the hauler. Dear molar, chomping down on the bit or biting a piece of the pie in the sky, the dream made real through relations of exchange. Dear Midas, dear muffler, shutting down the wrong voices, my ghost rivers, a reverse of the waking nightmare forced by the son of a gun of rum and sugar, tea and tobacco, the grades the priesthood teaches us to want, judgment from above to secure our places, buffering the suffering even if we hate them. We trade pinches for knowing where we stand. What if you don't stand where you think you stand? If you've lived your life walking on property but never setting foot on land? What if the land has been tasked with masking despots as princes? Rise and rinse them. Choose the substance of revelation: tea or water, milk or murder. Crows take us further than telephone lines teach birds to swim and fish to fly, doctor the squalor of order to reveal an older order beneath, bequeath the go of the flow to the moon ones, the womb ones and tomb ones. We women shimmer in the dim, gestating a softer light that permeates concrete, illuminating the tooth of illusion. Wolf blood moon howls mad as domestic dog begs raw meat from mom. There's one for Adrian. This is number 17. Dear meat monster, I want my money back. No denying the eternal return of desire for passport, house, boots, and fruits. I longed for a rival. I wanted my innocence and eat it too, with XO sauce, in broth, or fried in hot oil, crunchy, tender as baby octopus, beef tendon, the slippery lick of jellyfish on a platter of cold meats. I'm beat. The Christian lean we glean to crack the pepper of the emperor's absolute power has backfired. I'm a hoser, a poser, stuck in the loop of the wannabe buzzing around an empty hive. What five to get high with, sigh with, hung out to dry with? I'm afraid of what I feel. The affect of the man zips through me fast and neurotic as my myopics ontic. I'm gutted by the flutter of ugly feelings. I reel, I congeal, so sorry, but sorry's castle has already been co opted by the state and capitalized as stable economy. My astronomy swings from the star machine I wish would rust and turn to dust or butter toast. A roast for the ghosts crowding doorways without papers, bleeding from the body and beyond. I return my clean uniform eternally for the grisly bits, the love, the responsibility. My lineage knows the chop suey of invention, the few dishes for many extended by rice in rich times and water in lean. I welcome the dirt as long as the water's kept clean. What am I suturing? I dream my grandmother sewing the garment to fit the body, unhooking, restitching through growth spurts and wounds. I'm wound, bound to the bodhisattva of go and flow, the double affect of the go between, haptic as happenstance reckoning with history, as reports from deep time roll tectonic and earth waves shower me with truth's debris. This bicycle's not a wheelbarrow legislating backyard chickens. I'm going to jump quite a bit. This is fragment 42. Dear listener, glistening sad and had on the stairway to heaven, you shine wet as the spit levered your way by ascending lovers. The snot of your allergic reaction dribbles nostril to lip. Why won't you wipe? Kleenex's best customer meets out sheets, conscious of old growth cut for asswipe, Hallmark, corrugated cardboard, and your beloved books. You couldn't score without paper. The door of your doggy dip and soggy sip, sobbing for the FOB while lucky bullies lob eggs your way. Sunny side up or over easy, the greasy tease isn't innocent, singing the pitch to make your nose bleed. Don't plead. It makes matters worse. The grim curse of your saltwater journey, blighted in nightmares of fresh off the flight, the same blue and purple sweater the same blue and purple striped sweater twice, three times, four. Why wear anything else? Why bother washing when you could disappear into the sour sweat smell of tomorrow's sorrow, same as yesterday's and today's? Want to play CC my playmate, stalemate as forget it you reek, the germs of harm, the terms of the tarmac, God's her own father and she don't even believe in him. Later, others cooties, the tormented sad boy sketches graffiti cocks into hairy pussies on the backs of bathroom doors, fills the hat she lent you with rocks and hurls it across the playground. Or Alexandra in language arts pinches your arm hard as she can, the searing pain of it, scream and shame, or hush now and pretend the arm's not yours. Score of he dresses well, I'm sure it's okay. Translate to humiliations on and on and on, keep on rockin', baby. What balm could beautify this appointment when the Queen of Exile's still a queen, stolen because some hellish headbanger saw the object he could make of her? Beg her for the secret oil of your toil's completion, psyched in the night by the blooming flower of once upon the Gorgon, your banishment from presence dissolved in the how of history's now, the genie of genealogy leaking logic's heavy water. It's fine, you bide your time. But which time? Jointing the river for the dam's sticking point? Her ointments oink with boors who were men, turned to stone by the skin deep, swinging its own fragile power, fine as powder and temporary, but still not yours. In the corridor of this war, do not enter sign abandons all faith, even as wraiths dissolve in the hiss of this, the dampest mist. Winter dinner, North Atlantic shore, peas pudding, salt beef, cod's kiss. 44. Dear Queen of Exile, I sunk my river to try your door. The scoreboard sore at halftime, running your football to the het net, the pets bet, gambling on horsemen, wishing you'd finally call an end to it all. Don't stall. The driving force of the revolution's already eaten. Apple is dying to sell the temporary measure as final product. Your lotion's deepest emotion holds subaltern beauty to subterranean standards. Get it on Hansard, plant me an answer before the ding-ding of springtime releases you back to mama. My boomer's lurgy as clergy splurging on the Uber of Alice's magic mushroom, terse as douchebags, restraining urges from the nonchalant wells of their own repressions. Butter me with the essence of every flower and leaf. Cover my grief with the Asian substitute for the pink, the lily, and the blooming rose. The winter juices of every summer beauty on duty for death, advertising cars, phones, social networks, or routers for sad sacks dreaming eternal sunshine. Mask me to grasp everlasting love, my cover for help from above, or the rough justice meant for some other brother in the submarine of limbo, arms akimbo, indignant about the dog's every biscuit. Truth is, for all my bravado, I won't brave your door. Your beauty's too terrible, and I'm fried in the terror my mama can't turn the seasons to guarantee my safe return. Maynard martyr rages at the edge of it. Oh, holy Stephanie, I flail narcotics of Narcissus. My desire for you is not a nice desire. Here's a flower for Saint Iris, her live horses, the latest casualty of Nanking. 39.99 at Sephora. BB cream on sale. Precious poppy pink. This is the last fragment I'll read. It's number 51. Dear Oolong, if there were no such thing as tea, none of this would have happened. Bo ne, kukbo, hangpin, lungching, or tikunyam. I hum. Infusions a solution to remaining alert to irony as sleepers puff opium, trading the doozy of drowsiness for the carrot of charity, draining the ort cloud of our distant origins. Alert in the iron box. Tempest teases schoolyard bullies, flipping their hair like Farah. Mine's too flat to feather. Birds gather in conferences, unable to backcomb for the stand up comedian or punk rock pork hawk. My dialect ditzes for the fetal leaf unfurling in hot water as English breakfast, Russian caravan, Prince of Wales, or Earl and Lady Grey. I hack for smack, heroin, morphine, or crack, as Jardine Matheson plies the China trade, pirating porcelain, silk, cotton, and tea, items of use traded for the inducement of rest. That's okay. I'll dream my way back into your loving arms race, Cold War or trade war, parading handbags from Prada, Coach, and Chanel as students toss Molotov cocktails against tear gas on the MTR. Our scars glisten bright as stars, fishing for birds in the silver river, a sliver of memory flashing light on our addictions enforced by gunboat diplomacy, while geomancers crack ox scapula for a route out of psychic unrest. What metal could test this gunpowder green or iron goddess as my fireworks go up in smoke? I poke for a new Berlin, find a cross on the road as fentanyl crisis boom echoes across centuries of artificial sleep. Perturbed galaxy ejects, tidal stream of stars, river jumps fish. And I'll stop it there. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Larissa. We've had a few requests in the chat for you to read more. I don't know if you want to do one more,
One more?
or are you done? It's okay if you
Sure,
don't want
yeah,
to.
I can. I'll do the
Thank you
very
so much.
I'll do the very, very last one. The last, it's not the very last one. The book closes actually with a set of diagrams that uh, well, I would need to do slides to show you, but I'll read the last of the textual ones. So I mentioned that there's 64 fragments in honor of the I Ching. So the last one is Dear Tao. So it's number 64. Dear Tao, old rotary, turtle shell squeal whistling in flames to name the hell of a revolutionary god. I split my cod, debone at spine to line a whispered history. Astronauts, impossible labor, climbs back down millennia, returns to Earth. The E of Qing blusters to Shang ancestry, priestess geomancer of a bad romance. I'll take a chance on democracy from below, glowing in the slow heat of an other ember. Guilt shines beneath quilt of magpies, flashing shimmery feathers, as Protestant lies down on her bed of nails, dials dialectic for that long distance feeling, beguiled by the gush of blood staining the shroud of her own making. What king could ding this, melt dragons in cauldrons to brew a better soup? I stoop, regroup, loop Yue for Teen Hao, Gunyam of ocean goers, Avalokiteshvara of the long march across deserts, Bodhisattva of water, Queen Mother of a different West, rescues father and brothers from massive spiral sea to sky storm. Now her incense coil burns above, snakes from ceiling of wet temple, steps from station of the cross. We were not yet Chinese when Shang was ancient. I dream my being returned to Weaver's once and future North Star. Dear Tongyan, I pilot my ship on South China Sea, blink my split toenail, cast net for wishes, bungle my smuggle for a pot of rice steamed with salted fish. Echo wagers cap against standard. Q's pool table to return love's body in remembered alphabets, lunar pull. All right. That is it. It's 10 of them now. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being interested.
Stunning.
Thank you. Thank